Hi, everybody. It's David Mark with the Tarot Kohanim. We're speaking. I've here with me the executive director, Daniel Loria, and both of us are speaking at our homes because we're under constant missile fire from Iran. This is the big war, the big final war, the head of the octopus, as everybody calls it. And Daniel's on here to share some thoughts about the what's going on with Iran, the proxies, the basically Israel's standing in the world vis-a-vis this war. Daniel, what's your take on what's going on? How long are we going to be in this situation for?
Uh, what's going to happen in the future is only for prophets and fools, and I'm neither. What I can say is that we're living in phenomenal times. I mean, the Lion of Israel, it's an amazing, Am Kalavi Yakum. It's amazing what he chose because literally the Lion of Judah, the Lion of Israel, has woken up. It sadly took the 7th of October to be woken up properly to the concept of land for peace and who the enemy is and what we should be doing and have a proper victory, understanding what's at our back doorstep, which even though we sort of understood, we never really internalized. And it took, unfortunately, the 7th of October for that to happen. But we're living in times today, which I think are absolutely phenomenal. On one hand, we can never forget the hostages and those that are being killed and the missiles that are getting through, and a little bit of that is happening. And yes, there's destruction, but the bigger picture is epic. It's monumental. It's a historical situation what's taking place. That people are going to be writing about this. I mean, I always had envy of those people who were born in 1948, and fought in the War of Independence. Oh my God! After the Holocaust, and here we are, they're fighting against all these nations that want to drive us out, and there's a victory, and there's a state of Israel. Envious of them. The Six-Day War. Who wouldn't have wanted to live in the Six-Day War to see the miracles of the Six-Day War and then wiping out 5 Arab countries all around us? But today, you have to be totally blind not to realize the phenomenal things that are unfolding. Look at where we are today compared to 2 years ago. Hamas on our back doorstep, Hezbollah on our back doorstep, Hamas and PA literally in our dining room in Yudah Sharon, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, the octopus, the snake, choking us from every angle. And today, there's hardly anything left of Hamas. Hezbollah is muted totally. Nothing left of it. Syria, the most feared army and air force, doesn't exist as an air force, and then not a single Israeli soldier was killed in wiping out, doesn't exist, the Navy or the Air Force. And now we've got control over Iran, the head of everything. A calculated, beautiful, strategic patience with God working in mysterious ways. And anyone who doesn't see that unfolding just doesn't appreciate anything which was taking place. It's just phenomenal. And I'm no longer envious of those in 48 and 67 because we've got it ourselves today. It's very, very special. I mean, and once again, we can't forget the things that are happening, and they're suffering in different places, from the running to the shelters to the hostages, and people being killed and injured in the buildings because ballistic missiles, it's enormous destruction. But slowly but surely, we are getting on top of everything. And we're going to have, God willing, that we're peace here for decades. We're doing this not for ourselves, it's for our children, our grandchildren, and I think even bigger than that. We're doing it for Western civilization because this is against Muslim fundamentalism. This is a battle of cultures, about life, about values. It's all very different.
Right. I mean, people have to appreciate that the Hezbollah, an arm of the IRCG GC.
Oh, I apologize. My daughters are saying that there was some.
Sorry.
We're not getting the messages, but the first message came ready to go into the bomb shelter. I think we got to go into the bomb shelter, so we may have to cut this short.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
I apologize. This is the reality of life. Even
Definitely,
in the midst of times of the Great War, we're still also at war.
definitely,
So
definitely,
we'll cut it short, and we'll maybe reconnect in a few minutes.
definitely. Oh, you're back, huh?
Yeah, the life. Sometimes they're false alarms. Sometimes it's going to be in the general area, not specifically Male Adumim. It's amazing. Also, when you think about it, they know when something's leaving Iran, They know that within 10 minutes it's going to be in a certain area, and then they know exactly where it's going to land.
Yeah, I
Then,
didn't get a warning this time, so
anyway, it's the technology of everything taking place. I mean, I think we all were totally blown away. Wrong word to use, but we're totally blown away by the beeper story. But what's taking place in Iran makes the beepers look like a baby. It's, I
that's right.
mean, it's a,
And people were 1,500 kilometers away, and we have a team of of Mossad/IDF people on the ground there. It is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Um,
maybe they should just take over the Fordo power.
Maybe
I
that's
mean,
the plan. I don't put anything past them.
Israel went into this war knowing exactly what's going to happen, including the Fordo plan. So I'm thinking they're banking on the fact that America may join and therefore have slightly bigger planes and bigger bombs. But why rely on America? You know, we can do the whole thing ourselves. The question is how. But I'm sure they've got a way, and it'll take place one way or another.
That's right.
But it really is times. I mean, think about all the leaders. You know, the Hania, the Sinwar, Nasrallah, every general, every chief of staff, every head of every terrorist unit in all countries, you know, in hotel rooms, in apartment rooms, the intelligence, the ability to be so direct and precise and to hit every one of them and to do what they're doing is just, it's just mind boggling.
Yeah.
And you're right. It was 1,500 miles away and a country which is meant to be the biggest superpower. It's 75 times the size of Israel, 10 times population, an army that's meant to be, you know, the fear of the whole of the Middle East. And within 3-4 days, they're like little babies.
Right.
You know, the blink of an eye, the Mashiach can come and things can happen, and Geulah, redemption. Amazing things unfolding. Amazing.
It's unbelievable. I mean, just you know, I was reading that you know, the entire wedding, Avner Netanyahu's wedding was also a ruse. They're not going to get married, but they scheduled a date, and no one even got invitations.
They'll be busy. They've got no time for this, got no time for that. Who knows how Trump and Netanyahu have been talking? I really love, you know, what's amazing is these the left-wing commentators and all these pundits and generals, you know, how Netanyahu has blown his relationship with America and he's not talking to Trump and Trump's angry. It's just unbelievable. I hope the day will come where every one of them, from Lapid and Barak and Gantz all the way down to every one of these Barak Ravids and all these other people in the media, apologize both to Netanyahu and for a lot of other things that they've claimed that have just been totally wrong. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw a few people come out already saying that I never thought he would do it. I apologize for not trusting him, and so I was that was very, very touching. What's your take on where this is obviously going to create a vacuum of power after Iran falls? I mean, we at Etaret Kohanim have our own challenges in terms of the Eastern Jerusalem neighborhoods. Does this have any effect on the ground here, or they're Shiites and they weren't really part of the equation?
I think the things that are taking place today could have world-changing, you know, ramifications. It's Middle East can change when you take out of an equation head of this octopus or snake and responsible for all the terror, the hatred, the violence taking place all over the world, but especially in the Middle East. It filters down. I remember people telling me after the 6-day war, oh, you know, we used to walk through the shuk and we were shoulders wrapped like that, and the Arabs knew who they were, and the atmosphere is different. When there is a powerful, miraculous, heavenly inspired type victory against this giant called the Muslim world, that has huge ramifications. That sends a message. This son of Abraham is here for a long time. Now, whether it gives us 30 years or 40 years or 60 years of quiet, you know, we're religious people, and so we also know that there's a higher being here, and ultimately everything depends on our behavior. If we act in accordance with the way Hashem wants us to act, then these people are like dust. They're like nothing. But if we don't, then you know, I remember in class growing up as a kid, we were always told about Mateh Za'amo Shel Hashem. He uses nations, the world, as his angry stick. So we have to wake up. We have to wake up and do the right thing, even amongst ourselves. Less fighting, um, issues about who does the army, how we talk to each other. There's a lot of big things happening in the community that I think a lot has changed since October 7th. There's still issues, and they have to be addressed.
Yeah. But in terms of like there's clans that are Hamas oriented clans in Eastern Jerusalem. Does this affect them or not?
Peace.
Yeah.
See, today, we've had, as you would know, and as we've told our many supporters around the world, there are thousands of Molotov cocktails that have been thrown from half a dozen or more violent, hate-filled clans inside the Shiloach. Now, and until now, maybe the police have gone in, maybe someone is checking a camera, maybe someone is arrested, maybe someone will be thrown into jail for who knows how long. But today, the atmosphere, the feeling is different. A few months ago, there were Arabs who two Arabs threw Molotov cocktails like they've been doing for years. This time they were shot and killed. And that's the way it should have been 20 years ago. You have to act like a sovereign body in charge. You can't have a situation where Arabs think they can throw Molotov cocktails at Jewish homes because they don't like the Jews there. You don't like it in this country? There's 21 Arab countries and Muslim countries you can go to. But leave us alone. You want to live in Israel, you live in accordance to a certain lifestyle. And if you don't, then the heavy hand will come down on you. And that's changing. I don't know whether it's only because of Ben Gvir. It definitely is because of a general atmosphere in the country, knowing who the it doesn't mean that it's every single Arab. There are plenty of Arabs. I met recently an Arab from the Arab Emirates. I can't say where he's from specifically because he came incognito. It was an amazing story. And he was saying, the way I was taught the Quran, he said, you are the son of Abraham that was blessed with the land of Israel. And we were blessed with many other things for the other sons of Abraham. But this is your land. Now, there are people that are like him. There are millions like that. The problem is that there's still millions who don't think that way. And we're having to deal with them at the moment. These Muslim fundamentalists that think that we have to be wiped out. That we are the Satan, little Satan. At the moment, they're being taught a lesson, just like Syria, like Hezbollah, like Hamas. And Iran is getting that message, and it will filter down, not just to the Arabs in our areas in the parts of Yerushalayim, but also to the authorities about how to deal with such people. Right. But yeah, it's and we're seeing the changes in very big ways. By the way, apropos, if we're already speaking, we just got a wonderful court case verdict. When I say we, I mean the sanctified trust, not necessarily Ateret Kohanim, but there is this concept of a sanctified trust that used to own communal property in the Yemenite village of Shiloah. And they just got a very, very fundamental and very important court ruling. Some Arabs tried to say that it's old, it's beyond, it's called Hityashnut, that it doesn't apply anymore because time has passed, and the courts basically threw it out. And a lot of cases and files against Arabs that the trust has been trying to get back old Jewish property has been held up in the system because of this one ruling. And yesterday, it's like the plug has been taken out and water will now flow, and all these cases will come to fruition. We're going to see a lot more Jewish families, thank God, moving back to the Yemenite village because of the sanctified trust in this court ruling, which is very interesting.
I mean, it is tied not necessarily the Iran part. It's tied to October 7th in some ways. I have to believe that all this plays out together. You have the Arabs that are squatting on our property in Shiloh, and we're afraid to deal with them. And we ended up having to go to court a few years ago. And then October, years go by. October 7th rolls around and wakes a lot of people up. It has to have some sort of ripple effect in the psychology of even the court system. Of that there's only so far they're going to let their own country be taken over by crazy, not even just Arabs, lawlessness. Basically, that's what it is.
You're 100% correct. I mean, overall, I see it as know your enemy. Appreciate and know your enemy and listen to what he's saying. If he is saying he wants to destroy you and you're the Satan that has to be wiped off the face of the earth, then listen to him. Mm-hmm. Don't go the path of, no, we can make it okay by destroying 10,000 people's lives and giving away land. Don't think in terms of land for peace with people that want to wipe you off the face of the world. I mean, what were some of the governments thinking over the years? I mean, we've had Arab pogroms in the 20s and 30s, even before there was a state. We were attacked by Arab countries in 48, in 56, in 67, in 73. intifadas. How many more messages do you need for you to realize that there is an Arab enemy, and you have to understand it as such? And you have to show strength and strength of conviction. That doesn't mean to say, don't get me wrong, that it's every single Arab out there. Definitely not. And it's not every single Muslim. There's room for everyone in the world. But the land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people. Leave us alone. You want to live in peace in the land of the Jewish land of Israel with Jewish values and Jewish history and heritage? Beseda. I'll put out the blue and white carpet. You don't like it? Leave. There's 21 Arab countries and Muslim countries all around us. I'm sure there's plenty of work to be done in Iran now because there'll be a lot of rebuilding needed.
Plenty of space for them there.
It's really, it's amazing times. I mean, you have to stop for a second and think, God, where were we 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, look what we were surrounded with then, and look what we've got today.
Yeah.
Not just the lion of Israel who stood up. It's got the lion, the lionesses, the whole lion family is up there with the shoulders out, and we're who we are. This is a light to the nations in big time.
Yes.
Not just with Nobel Prizes. It's also with acumen. It's with intelligence. It's with military might. It's with everything. This is not the ghetto Jew.
No.
This is the Jew who believes in Hashem, believes in the Torah, believes in Jewish heritage, believes in our connection to this land, and believes that we aren't going to be pushed into any corner. Those days are over.
And what's amazing is we didn't need America to lead this fight at all. You know, there's a big debate. Oh, should America lead it? No, we did it. You know, and we did it. We paved the way. If they jump in now, great. But we did all the heavy lifting, all the hard work. You know, our guys on the ground there. Years of cultivating intelligence on the ground in Iran. Years of it, like daring missions, and just dangerous stuff. It's just wild.
And we're probably not going to even know the whole truth for another number of years. I mean, the Beepers was how long in the making? 8 years, 9 years, 10 years?
Yeah.
And there and making sure. Could you imagine what it takes to have agents in Iran, even though, mind you, half the country is in favor of Israel and hates the Ayatollahs and hates fundamentalism, etc., but still to have drone units and spies and Mossad agents and everything to go exactly when you want to destroy the batteries and the rockets, it's just phenomenal. It's just amazing what intelligence and what military prowess we've managed to achieve. I don't think a single plane of theirs got off the ground. What have they got? Planes from World War II. What is it, the F-14s?
So it's old planes. Nothing. We blew them all up.
I think Tom Cruise, when he got in that plane in that movie, was something more advanced than what they've got today. It's just unbelievable. There's nothing they can do. I mean, when you got control of the airspace, basically Israel is doing what it wants. They're in a really bad situation.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen with the oil fields? That's only just touched the edge of it, because Israel has to play a balance with the rest of the world. How much is oil going to cost? That's going to affect us and affect the whole rest of the world. So that, but I'm sure the economic army know exactly what to do and how many airfields to hit to make the price of oil or petrol go up just a certain amount and make the. But ideally, the country itself. I mean, it doesn't help just blowing up nuclear plants. If the same Ayatollahs is there tomorrow, unless the white flag's going to go up and they're prepared to bend and to say, yes, we'll do as you want, and we're going to have supervision from America, ideally, it'd be better not to have the Ayatollahs there at all, and then half the country wants them out. But for that to take place, you need the public uprising. I don't know how something like that happens. That's something that I guess higher authorities have to orchestrate.
I think it's coming. I saw pictures today of an empty Tehran after President Trump said to get out. He gave this warning, said everybody should leave Tehran, and it's empty. 15 million people left.
Unbelievable. So it's not so bad if I have to run to the mamad, to the security room for a few minutes. Mind you, that's going to stop very shortly also. At some point, they're not going to have either the batteries nor the missiles.
That's right.
So God willing, there could be quiet here for decades, for our kids and also for their children. On the other side, they'll have to re-educate, and I think it'll have to happen through the Muslim world, to look at things differently, because it starts at education. Unless they're going to start educating differently, we're just going to have another cycle of violence and hatred. But that's a. But anyway.
Okay, but Daniel, till next time.
Shalom.
Safe.
Am Yisrael.
Am Yisrael Chai.